Yo, what's the deal? It's your boy HenDog chilling out. It is May 21st, 2022. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I just did my first TikTok, and I've had many ideas about starting a podcast. Been about a year and a half, probably around November time during the pandemic, that I was like, yo, we should definitely get ourselves on the camera. We should definitely start talking. We should definitely start just chatting with the world and seeing what's really going on. And why not have a video? Why not have a YouTube channel? Why not have a podcast? Why not do it? Everybody says to do it. Even people are coming out hating, saying that, oh, if you have a podcast, you're a total loser. I love it to death. But yo, we're here. This is the start. I have no idea how the sound quality and all this. I have tried a couple of cameras out before. This is just my iPhone right now. Wanted to do more of a professional studio style podcast, but with that you need money, capital in order to build that up. So we will get there eventually, but today's a beautiful day outside. And after I did this TikTok, I loved the way my hair looked. So we're here. We are live from Lowell, Massachusetts. This is the HenDog Half. This is probably what you would call a pilot episode. It is very raw, very bare, very just me and the phone and the earphones and my awesome Green Day shirt, represent, you know. But I'll tell you a little about myself. My name is Danny. I grew up in Long Island, New York. I work up here in Boston, Massachusetts. I am a respiratory therapist. I have been working in the field for 14 years. I am in love with this job. It's one of the best things I've ever done. It's the best thing that's probably ever happened to me ever. So I cannot be more and more appreciative of where the paycheck comes from, because obviously you need a paycheck to survive. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't like the jobs that they have that collect the paycheck. But me, on the other hand, I am the complete opposite. I love my job. I love going to work every day. I love helping people. And I ain't no corny tagline to try to get people to think that I'm a nice guy or some shit. I love it. I love my job. I love working with people. I love working with the sickest people of all time. I have experience working with sick babies. So when it comes to the medical field, I am not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I am the coolest respiratory therapist, you know. So let's just get that off the bat right there. Anyway, so from here now, little hobbies and interests. You know, we got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I'm not a black belt. What am I talking about? I wish I was a black belt. I am a blue belt. And since I am totally going one take on this, I will not delete that. I am a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, not a black belt. I wish I was a black belt. Unfortunately, too many knee injuries have kept me from even progressing to purple belt, but we'll get there one day. And trust me, my training is always good. I go to one of the best gyms up here in Lowell, Massachusetts, get trained by some of the world champions in the jiu-jitsu subculture, so it is some of the best times ever. I love American football, the NFL. That is my favorite sport. That's one thing that I will be discussing a lot on this channel. I also love movies. Movies are one of my favorite things of all time, along with music. Music probably being the best one, but music, on the other hand, is very, shall I say, niche when it comes to my favorites, because I'm a big rap fan. I love 90s rap music, hip hop, from Queens, Bronx, Staten Island, Long Island, Manhattan. All the rappers that were coming up in the 80s and the 90s are some of my favorites, so that's one thing I will be discussing a lot on here too. We are throwing down on any conversation. This is the HenDog Half. We're talking about everything and nothing and everything in between. I will sit here and will update current events that we're going to call current HenVents. We're going to be talking about non-political headlines. Ain't none of that bullshit, red and blue, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative bullshit. No, you're getting the half here. You are getting on both sides. It's just the headlines. I would love talking about current events all day, whether it be the economy, whether it be Wall Street, whether it be the war in Russia, whether it be the conflicts in Iraq, whether it be 9/11, all that political stuff, all those headlines, everything that you hear in the political news, we'll talk about here for 3 minutes at the beginning of every video. We have to add that only because, in my opinion, the stuff that's coming out here on these cable news networks is a bunch of bullshit, and I need to add my little own input of bullshit in there, just to throw it in, just so you know where everything is coming from, because it's a bunch of bullshit out there. It's probably a bunch of bullshit here. I ain't no news expert, I ain't no journalist, but I can tell you one thing, that I could definitely report the news better than some of those assholes on cable television, and you could take that to the bank. My biggest favorite thing is professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. I love watching dudes get punched in the face. It's one of the best things ever. However, I do know it's a sport, and I do know that wrestling is a choreographed, violent entity of entertainment. So with that, I appreciate and love all martial arts, whether it's Taekwondo. I participate in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, with judo, sambo, kickboxing, wrestling. I was a wrestler for 4 years in high school. Some of the favorite stuff I've ever participated in when it comes to sports is grappling, is fighting. Unfortunately, I never made it to an MMA fight, never even really trained for it. I did take a lot of MMA classes at my first gym, Florian Martial Arts in Boston. Represent Keith Florian, Kenny Florian, some of the best jiu-jitsu teachers out there. Never made it to an MMA fight. I had it on the docket when I was in my mid-20s, but never anything too serious. What else are we going to be discussing? We're going to be discussing a lot of stuff around here, and I honestly have been writing down ideas and wanting to do this for a long time. I just haven't gotten around to it. Now, better than ever, the weather's beautiful. I did a TikTok, my hair looked great, and I was like, yeah, let me throw down on this video, on this first pilot video. So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. I know that there's going to be a future here. We're going to be talking about whatever you want, everything and nothing all at the same time, because that's what we do here. We like to talk about the stuff that it might be hard to talk about on YouTube videos, like the politics, like the health care, like the hard questions you might want to ask about the medical field, whether it's disgusting stuff about GI bleeds or lung sputum. Yeah, we could talk about that all day. That's cool with me. We could talk about pop music, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, everything. I love those 90s pop songs and all that good stuff. So definitely discussing a lot of that. A lot of the new music that's out. I got Sirius XM in the car. We be listening to Hits 1 all the time, trying to keep up with all this music that the kids are listening to today. And it's crazy to say that the kids are listening to today, because I remember bumping Mobb Deep and I remember bumping Wu-Tang back in 1996, 97. And I was the kids listening to that type of music. So I love that stuff to death. Can't wait to talk about that stuff here, talk about the top 10 of Billboard in 2022. I probably don't even know 9 of those artists, but I can't wait to indulge and start talking about that and reading up and doing all the research about that. It's going to be some cool stuff. We're also going to be talking about the UFC fights, the pay-per-views, everything that's going down, whatever weight classes is the pay-per-view of that time, whatever controversies are happening, whether it be Conor McGregor throwing another dolly through the bus, or Khabib jumping over the cage and trying to fight Dylan Dennis, or Ferguson getting KO'd in some of the most brutal kick to the face I've ever seen in my life. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be talking about all that stuff. Can't wait to do it. We have an Instagram, we have a Facebook, we have going to soon be a TikTok. Right now I just did my own TikTok on my own personal thing, but we'll get one for the HenDog Half. We'll get one for the podcast here. We're gonna be a lot actually, let me take that back, a lot less rustic than we are right now with just an iPhone, earphones, and just sitting on my porch out here. We're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff, and we're going to have a little bit more of a professional setting with cameras, microphones. I just need to get to that point. The ideas are there. It's the capital of wanting to spend that much money and having to invest in all this, but I want to do it. I do want to do it. I've been wanting to do it for a long time. Shout outs to my man Mike Success. He is the first guy that I did a podcast with back at the beginning of the pandemic, when everybody was trying to figure out what this whole COVID-19 was all about. We did a great podcast. I think we went like almost an hour. I think we even went a little bit longer. It was one of the greatest things I've ever done, and it was really cool to do at the beginning of the pandemic because I really felt it helped a lot of people get some of that initial information when it was a lot of confusion and a lot of bullshit on television that people were being fed to. So I was happy to do that, and ever since then I've been thinking about that. That was May of 2020, so now we're talking about 2 years. So finally we get around to it, and finally we finish up the first 10 minutes of this podcast. So shout outs to everyone that I've talked to about this, all my friends. They've all think I'm full of shit, that I was never going to do it, or just made fun of me anyway, just because they like to make fun of me, and that's how it goes down usually. But we will be progressing with this. It's only May. We're going to be getting a set in. We're going to be trying to getting it off the ground, because right now I'm probably going to do the first 2 or 3 videos are probably going to be real short, sweet, kind of like this podcast, chilling. When I got good weather outside, I'll come out here, talk to you guys for a little bit. But coming up soon, we're going to have the current events. We're going to have a 20-minute dialogue or interviews of whoever you want to talk to, whoever wants to talk to me. Let's do it. Let's get you on camera. Let's get you on the mic. Let's get you talking. Let's get a voice out for you, because that's what we're here for. That's what YouTube is here for. YouTube is here to give a voice to people that never really had a voice before. And I love watching YouTube. I love watching, that's not just saying that because I'm going to post this to YouTube later. I do watch a lot of YouTube. I actually was just watching videos before how to play FIFA for PlayStation 5, because I suck at that shit. I'm trying to figure that out. So we're trying to figure it out on how-to videos. Back in the day, you would buy Game Pro magazine, you know, at the store. It cost you like $10, but it'd tell you exactly how to play a game and all the cheat codes and all that. So I was just doing that on YouTube. I love watching so many FD Salinger. We got the Joe Rogan clips. We have the Steve-O Jackass, which is hilarious. I watch a lot of pro wrestling, a lot of MMA podcasts on there. Can't come off the head right now, but they will be shouted out in the future later. It's just endless, and I could sit here and talk. Ask anyone that's been on the phone with me before, or even has gotten text messages from me. I am a paragraph texter. I have always been that way, so it is always a good time when I start rambling, because you will wind up from talking about President Bill Clinton having sex with his interns, to the Dust Bowl, to the Spanish flu, to World War II, to 9/11 conspiracies, to haunted houses, to your favorite movie, to what's the better show, Friends or The Office. I don't even know where my fans out there, NBC shows that are ruled the airways for years. I'm a big fan of all of them. Let's discuss all that. I'll always say like and subscribe, but this is my first video, so I'm not expecting a lot of viewers or a lot of anything and I am lucky that none of my neighbors have actually come through and said hello and had not disturbed. But my goal here was at least a 10-minute video, and I think we've gotten there. We're heading on to the 13th minute, but like I said, when it comes later on, when I'm starting to do these shows, it's not going to be about the timing. It's just going to be about the quality and the materials and the topics that are being spoken here, because there's a lot of stuff that we could talk about, and there's a lot of stuff that I know you want to hear about. Maybe not my opinion, but maybe of someone else's opinion. Let's get them on here. Let's talk about it. I am down like the clown. I am in it to win it. In like Flynn, we could start rhyming and cursing and doing all that good stuff. But yes, we are going to be killing it here on this HenDog Half podcast. Once again, this was the first episode, the first pilot episode. Good things are gonna be coming, video packages and all that. So it's not an empty promise. It's all written down. It's all ideas, but we're going to get the ball started rolling over here. So anyway, guys, I love you. I pray for you. I hope everything is blessed. It is Saturday night going into Sunday. We are going to have a great weekend, and I hope that you have a great weekend too, and I hope that everything is chill. All right, guys, peace, be good, and take care of yourselves and each other. All right, peace.